Hey, I'm Camille. Welcome to my Booktube channel. I currently blog on Requiem for an English Major at WordPress. And the reason I decided to start a Booktube was it's a New Year's resolution, actually. Hate the sound of my own voice, but love books. And I just can't help but share my love for books as an English major. So I decided to start a YouTube channel in order to A, get over fear, and B, share what I love. And Mira is here to help. She's my lovely little kitten that I just got, and she loves books, loves to chew on them, currently is interested in my necklace as well. Yeah, this is Mira. She's my baby. Mira also steals pens. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I graduated about 2 years ago with an English degree. And that was part of the reason why I decided to call my WordPress blog Requiem for an English Major. Graduated, couldn't find a job, didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I just did the things I love. I started writing, currently have a novel in progress, hoping to query, and I read. I read what I loved, I read the stories I needed, and that's kind of what led me here. Mira's a crazy cat and keeps distracting me. So as an English major, I read a lot of different books, a lot of different genres, a lot of different time periods. But the one that I fell in love with that really actually kind of sparked my love for classics was Gothic literature. Gothic fiction is something that a lot of people don't know about, or they just misinterpret. It has led, I guess, into the romance category, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Gothic literature is all about being sublime, being in awe of your surroundings and what is transpiring around you. And that's why I love it, is how do you take an audience that doesn't like to read or is frowned upon for reading novels in the 1700s and get them to be engaged in something. That's why I fell in love with Gothic literature, really. Basically, I can talk about Gothic literature all day, and if I could get a master's or PhD in it, I would. I think it's a fascinating genre when you actually stop before Southern Gothic and before it goes into romance, which is just not my style at all. As a former English major, I dabble in a little bit of everything, actually. So you'll get everything from romantic literature to Gothic literature to YA. Currently been mostly reading YA just because after school it was really nice to take a break and read what I want to read, and I think there's a lot of neat stuff going on in that genre right now, is as it's transforming, as it's growing, as it's building. I think there's a lot of really neat things that are coming out of it, so I'm excited to see where it takes us this year. I'm excited as a writer to be able to write that and be a part of that too. Okay, so a couple favorite books. As an English major, love all sorts of different things, so I'm going to kind of break it down for you. Favorite English classic books would probably be Pride and Prejudice at the top of it, just because how she writes and the dialogue and just how she did that is incredible. Another one would be Anne Radcliffe's Mysteries of Udolpho. This was the book that got me into Gothic literature. It's incredible how she phrases settings, and yet she never was able to travel there herself. So I think as a writer that's really impressive. As for Victorian authors, I love Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Love, love, love Sherlock Holmes. However, his other series is actually the one that I've read the most. It's the Professor Challenger series, and it starts with The Lost World. It is just completely different and wonderful and magical, really. In addition to that, Jules Verne is a favorite. He is an amazing author. If you haven't read him, be sure to pick up one of his books. He's also kind of inspiring me to look more into steampunk, so stay tuned for that. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, YA favorites. This is difficult. A lot of people always ask, hey, what's your favorite book? You're an English major, you should know. It's not that easy, ever. Yeah, really, that's just how it is. Okay, because young adult is so vast, I can't choose a favorite. Point blank. Katniss in The Hunger Games really got me into YA because I related to her on so many different levels, and I have to just choose Hunger Games as one of my top picks. One of my recent reads over the summer was This Savage Song. That kind of really re-inspired me to revise one of the stories I was working on, because what this Savage Song deals with is something completely different from any of the YA I had been reading. Yes, you could say it's dystopian, however you want to say that word. I've heard it many different ways. But what makes it unique is the fact of how she goes about creating these characters. Kate is wonderful, and August is just like little cinnamon roll of wonderfulness. So this Savage Song was definitely at the top of my list in 2016 because it was just an incredible read, and I suggest you go and read it. A few other YA classics that I absolutely love is the Maze Runner series. I know people have a lot of opinions on it, but if you haven't read The Fever Code, that book sold me on why this series means so much to me. I actually just got to meet James Dashner back in September when it released, and he had been someone I'd been trying to meet since I started reading YA. It means the world to me to have been able to meet him, because the series, it just, I mean, you can't even explain what this series does, at least for me, as someone who came to YA with no expectations and started it. And to see it end in The Fever Code, I don't know if there's a more perfect ending book. And I read a lot of series last year. Midnight Star, Shadow and Bone series. What else did I read? Oh my gosh, how can I forget? Snow Like Ashes. That was the other series that I read last year, in 2016, that completely rocked my boat on what YA is. I wish I had that book as a kid, because that book has so much going on in it. But it comes down to Mira, who I actually named my cat after, because that character is everything that I needed as a teenager. If you haven't read it, please go and read it. It is a wonderful read. Yeah, I can't say enough praise for that book. What else do you need to know about me? I'm a redhead. It's real. Definitely have gotten teased for that. I wear glasses. I'm completely, pretty much blind without them. Like, if I take them off, you are all very blurry. I really don't actually like wearing my glasses. Most of the time I stumble around the world without them. But in this case, it's actually nice to be able to see. Other funny facts about me. I thought I was going to be a screenwriter. That didn't work out. I don't like formats like that, and it's interesting. I think every story has the right medium, and screenwriting, I can do it, but it wasn't for me. Oh my gosh, okay, so the main thing that you need to know about me, as both now a booktuber, bookstagrammer, blogger, I'm also a writer. Yay! I don't know when I ever started writing. I just kind of fell into it, I guess. Everyone has these epiphany moments of like, oh my gosh, I need to write because this is amazing. I just kind of wrote since being a kid. It was one of those things where I did it, I didn't tell anyone about it, and yeah, it took me until, I don't even know, a long time to actually admit to anyone that I was writing a novel. That was fun. I love writing. I love everything about writing. If you just want to ever chat books, chat writing, please hit me up, comment, post, whatever, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. I will be there. I love writing. I love books. I can talk all day. So, writing-wise, I'm currently working on a manuscript that's science fiction. This one, I want to say is young adult, but it could be new adult. I don't really know yet. Kind of depends what a publisher would think of it. So I'm in the middle of editing all of that right now in that loveliness, and you can probably see that journey on my other blog that's strictly for writing, which is Camille Smithy at WordPress. Yeah, and just kind of handling that right now. It is a science fiction because I love science fiction. No one can tell me otherwise. So part about reading is finding what you like. I like one thing, you like another. I have learned to disregard the hype of certain books just because they're not me, and I'm not going to read something that isn't who I am, isn't what I love. I've tried things, and sometimes I just kind of go back to Goodwill, because I think reading is about personal journey, and the most important thing is finding the stories that fit you. That's why I didn't read as a kid, is I couldn't find something that I connected with, I couldn't find something that I enjoyed, so I just didn't read. Whereas now I have the opportunity and the chance to choose what I like to read. So when I'm given a review or a post or whatever, please just know that it's personal opinion, and I will totally tell you, like, this book is great, there's nothing wrong with it. it just wasn't for me. And I think that's the most important thing with book reviews, with book blogging, is being able to say, this is why it worked, this is why it didn't work. If that happens, there are books where I will just fangirl and gush over. But it's really about finding books that fit you. And so being able to be open and honest about, this just didn't work for me. It's a great book. I love this author, but it just didn't fit me. Okay, so here's a couple fun facts for post-credit roll. Hope you enjoy them. See you soon! Also, this is completely improv because I don't know what I'm doing yet. We'll figure this out. And yes, I talk with lots of hand gestures, and I use exclamation points a lot. It's basically my favorite grammar punctuation ever. Secret fact, always wanted to be a Jedi because why not? I have never left the United States. I am a huge nerd of Marvel. Oh, Nina. Nina in Crooked Kingdoms and Six of Crows is, I don't even know how to describe her. She's absolutely amazing and I love her. That's all I have. Stay sassy. Filming is hard. Hey, that was an awkward hand gesture.